July the 20th, 2021. Roll call, Ms. Cindy.
Okay, just okay. Ms. Richards? Mr. Toller?
Here.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland? Mr. Duncan? Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mr. Moore? Ms. Simmons?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present. All right, this time, let's all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to C, let's consider the approval of board minutes from June 15th, 2021. Do you have a motion?
Move to adopt.
Second. Motion by Mr. Toller,
Just 1 second. Back it up.
second by Ms. Bailey Simmons.
Voting is open.
Just showed up.
How would you want me to do this, Ms. Jenkins? Because it's,
How do you vote, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Yes. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Janus is here.
and also, Ms. President, my laptop is giving me trouble.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
All right, we're going to move on to 2. Recognize the 2020-2021 All Academic Composite Teams. Mr. Jinko.
He's at work.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure tonight to recognize the 2020-2021 All Academic Composite Team. At this time, I'm going to turn around, if it's okay with the board, and Ms. Stilley. Good evening. Looks like we're missing a few, but we're going to go through the names. They deserve the honor of hearing their name called. Missing one less than we were a few minutes ago. So, again, this is a great honor. When you define student athlete, this group that we're going to talk about is the true definition of a student athlete. They woke up and put in the hard work, whether it was on the football field, the basketball court, track field, soccer field, etc., and they excelled in the classroom. Definitely make us #Tangi proud for everything that we stand for. So first of all, we'd like to thank the parents for giving us your greatest gift and allowing us to educate them. Thank you very much. Next, as we go through the names, I'd like to thank the students for giving us everything that you have, both on and on the field, off the field, and in the classroom, and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors as you move forward. Don't forget about Tangi. Come back to us if you happen to go away. If you want to teach, let me know. We'll hook you up in 4 years in the classroom somewhere. Okay. First school that we're going to recognize is the Kentwood High Magnet School Kangaroos. Our first individual is Jakevis Callahan, played basketball and football. Our next individual is Mr. Otis Elsie, played basketball and football. Congratulations. Our next school is the Ponchatoula High School Green Wave. Our first student athlete is Miss Isabella Batto in cross country. Miss Virginia Bell in soccer. Miss Kylie Burks, softball and volleyball. Miss Ann LaCour, soccer. Mr. Bryce Lipscomb, soccer. And Miss Hannah Thompson, volleyball. Once again, we'd like to congratulate these future stars as they move forward, thank them for all that they have done for Tangipahoa, wish them the best of luck in their future. And at this time, we'll have the superintendent, board president, and I know, Miss Janice, you want to get in with the root. Come on down.
That's right.
Well, Otis, it's your night tonight, man, so you can take over this show. What you got to say, bud? Speech.
Moving on down our agenda, we're going to go to number 3, our academic update for summer camp. Ms. Jackson?
Ms. Dilly, board members, and everyone here assembled today. I'm very proud to be here this afternoon to talk about our Tangi Summer Learning Camp. With me, since everything we do in Tangipahoa Parish is about our students, with me I have Ms. Aubrey Reed from the D.C. Reeves Elementary, who's going to give you your perspective of Summer Learning Camp.
Hello, my name is Aubrey Reed, and I will be talking about my experiences at the DC Reed Summer School Camp. I would have to say my 3 favorite subjects were science, social studies, and SEL, which stands for social emotional learning. I enjoyed attending science class with Mr. Vargo, and we all got to work together on science experiments. We also learned about electrical things and know how it actually works. For example, created circuit electrons flow from the light switch through the wires and into the light bulb. And that is how the light bulb works. In social studies class, Mr. Thomas not only taught us about how hurricanes form, he also taught us to write our own creative story on how we can prepare and stay safe by finding shelter from the storm. Ms. Callahan taught us a lot of social emotional learning class. We learned how to control our emotions, compassion, Compassion means to understand what the other person is feeling. C means to check and see if someone is feeling sad. Care means to find out why they are feeling sad. Do means to do something to make them feel happy. Every single day, I look forward to attending camp. I love camp so much. I never missed a day. If I woke up one day and I felt too tired, I would get up and still go anyways. My favorite lunch menu for the week was my mom's pepperoni pizza, pickle spears with fruit and milk. I always wanted more, but my mom said that we can only get one. So I traded my fruits for my friend's pizza. I really enjoyed myself at the D.C. Reed Summer School Camp. I would be looking forward to going to 5th grade at Martha Vineyard Elementary School, and hopefully it will be fun as just as it was at E.C. Reeves Elementary School.
And I'd like to recognize Mr. and Mrs. Reed. This is Kendra Reed, Ashton Reed's daughter. Would you please stand up, please? I thought last year we had site coordinators and parents come up. I thought it was very important for us to hear from a student. And reason being, as curriculum supervisor, you know, my job is to drive curriculum. But what I've learned in my 28 years in the district, summer learning camp is so important because it's so much more than about reading, writing, and arithmetic. What we learned this year, I want to first and foremost thank Dr. Lisa Fasell, my supervisor, for always pushing me. So when she came to me with the summer learning camp guidelines this year, I'm not gonna lie, I was really overwhelmed because this year it was very, very different. But she said, Marquita, if anybody can do it, you can do it. So I thought about this quote, and I know how Ms. Simmons loves quotes, so I made sure I included one for you. It's about creativity loves a crisis. And that's what we learned with COVID and everything we've been dealing with. In this camp, our goal was to pair academic classes and fun activities to help students catch up in their learning, as well as support their social and emotional health. We learned this year we have so many students that were dealing with anxiety. They were not feeling good about coming to school. They really felt like they were so behind. So getting students to come to Summer Learning Camp was a task, but we did it. In terms of our theme, Dr. Kate Brumley sent out guidance and wanted us to have a theme. So I'm one of these big patriotic people. I say, let's focus on USA, but I want to put a twist with it. So I met with my 3 people right here, Ms. Margaret Malazzo, Ms. Lisa Jinko, Ms. Giselle Shabazz, who helped me so much this summer. I said, what do you all think about USA, unbelievable summer academic activities? And they was like, wow, that makes you want to come to camp. I said, that's what it's about. So it's not just about ELA and math. We had to include STEM, which already talked about, social emotional learning, PE, art, and music. And some of the sites even included dance, and because it was about who could do the job at your site. So it's very, very flexible. What we wanted to focus on, of course, was to provide students with additional opportunities for learning and growing during the summer months. Students in grades 2nd through 8th grade, what I've always done, I said, Dr. Fasell, you know, we always focus on the tested grades. We used to just only have 4th and 8th grade in summer school. We added 7th grade to summer school. Each year that I've been in central office, I've added a grade. So now we're serving students 2nd through 8th grade, which is very, very important because it's all about getting them prepared in pre-K 2 so they'll be prepared for the big test in 3rd grade. So what we did, we looked at our data, and we had a lot of students who had learning loss. They had D's and F's in ELA and math, so those students received priority. But when everybody heard about what we were doing, we opened it up. Now this was the deal with opening it up. 200 teachers applied, over 200 teachers applied to teach summer learning camp. What I did was I maxed out to the number of teachers I had because I wanted to make sure the classes had 15 or less. So we took additional students based on the number of teachers we had. So we ended up with about 250 teachers teaching summer camp. And that was huge for us. Now, we only did it for 4 weeks. Some of the students were emailing, they were asking for more. But with us starting school August 5th, I knew we could only do 4 weeks. Summer learning camp was Monday through Thursday from 8 to 3. That was a big difference too. In that time, we said, well, let's balance it. I talked to my 3 ladies again. I talked to Dr. Baker, Ms. Husser, Heather Grace, and Rachel DiBenedetto. I said, we have to make sure that we're giving them what they need. So what we focused on with is why Tangi SLC. What do we want to incorporate in our camp? It was much more than ELA and math. It's always been about how they're going to do on ELA, how they're going to do on math. But with everything we've been doing in the district, we talked about social and emotional development. We also talked about making them better students for the fall. What can we do during the summer to help them feel better about school and to help them want to come to our classes in the fall? So what did we do? We focused on everything up there, but our top 5 priority was the social and emotional development because learning is social and emotional. If you do not feel good about yourself, if you don't feel like you can do it, students were giving up. And that's what we heard, like Ms. Jackson. You just don't understand. It's difficult. I said, yes, I do understand. I said, I help my nephew with his homework every night. The work you all are doing in second, third, fourth, I mean, my God, it's unbelievable what you're learning. I said, but you can do it. So we focus on the social and emotional. Then we also thought about the game changes this year was the STEM and the social emotional learning. The students wanted to come to camp this year because of the fun they were having. And also they felt safe. The 4 weeks, we had students begging us to continue the camp. I say, y'all, the teachers have to have a break. We go back to school August 5th. These 3 ladies were so exhausted because I just had them running all around, seeing all the great things we were doing. But most importantly, everything we focused on was about providing those students with what they need to be committed to academic excellence in the upcoming year. Who? Team Tangy. I'm standing up here presenting, but it's not just about me. Everybody you see on this slide, we met with everybody in the curriculum department, Dr. Baker, Ms. Ella Grace, Ms. Linda Husser, Rachel Vendetto. It was everybody. Of course, Title I, without Mr. Lear and the funds, we couldn't have done it. Technology, they did an excellent job of putting the things on the site for me, sharing our story, getting the information out. Transportation and bus drivers. The bus drivers had to get the students to camp. And it was tough because this was the most students we had in camp. We had 2,322 students in camp. Let me repeat that again. 2,322 students in camp. Now, in the history that I've been doing this, we've never had that many. And the deal is, some of it, they didn't have to come. 2nd and 3rd grade was not required to come. If you didn't have an F, you were not required to come. If you had a D, we encouraged you to come. But we had some students who were low C students who we knew needed that academic push for the upcoming school year, and guess what? We allowed them to come. The majority of our students were students who had these Fs. The principals, the support, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Bobby Matthews, Mr. Jason Alla, Mr. Hugh Wallace, Dr. Robin Vonado, Ms. Melissa Ryan. These are principals who reached out to me, who supported me, who went above and beyond anything we needed. They were there. District liaisons, these 3 ladies, these were the ladies that I hired to help me. I thank God he woke me up about 3 o'clock one morning and said, Marquita, there's no way. I used to drive all these sites in Monty. I said, well, everything we're trying to do is no way I can do it. These 3 ladies, we had 3 zones. Ms. Martha Malazzo, raise your hand, please, was South Zone. She covered all the schools in Ponchatoula and Hammond. Ms. Lisa Jinko, raise your hand, please. All my Northern Zone schools. She can't see it. Raise your hand, please. Okay. Ms. Giselle Shabazz, my Central Zone. So this is what happened. From Ponchatoula to Kentwood, they were traveling daily to cover the sites to make sure we were doing what we need to do. The teachers, the parents, the site coordinators, every site coordinator this year did not teach. They couldn't teach because they had no money to the site and manage what was going on. And what I'm most proud about, thanks to Ms. Linda Husser, is our partnership with Southeastern Louisiana University. We always talk about making students' career and college ready. Guess what? Through Southeastern, we were able to do that. Okay? Now, how? This is the how. Teamwork makes the dream work. Collective efficacy is something that LDOE has been pushing for us, and this is what we have to understand. I couldn't do this by myself. All those people I mentioned, we met all these dates.
Ms. Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry. All these people, all these dates are the dates that we met. We received the guidance from LDOE in late March, Dr. Fussell. We started meeting April 9th, major meeting with everyone. Then we met again on the 13th. Then we met again May 3rd, May 11th. We kept meeting because we wanted to make sure it was right. But this was the deal. With everything we were doing, those 4 C's did it for us. We collaborated like never before. We met. We communicated. We provided clarity. We had to keep meeting and keep giving updates and make sure we had that continuity, because this is what we wanted to do in summer learning camp. Make sure that the students in Kentwood had the same opportunities as the students in Ponchatoula. That was important to me because equity is definitely an issue that we need to continue to address. These were the game changers in Tangier SLC. This is why we had over 2,000 students, and where the LDOE requires us to continue to do it, I hope that we can continue to do this. SEL, the Character First program, this was a curriculum that gives those students, it empowered them and made them feel better about who they were. They learned about things by growth mindset. That's very much needed when you're trying to learn. Creativity, compassion, determination, initiative. These are the things when we walked in classrooms and we observed across the district they were learning. All of those skills are necessary for you to address the standards to be able to pass the LEAP test. STEM. Miss Glenda Husser, I told her, I said, Miss Husser, I need you to arrange everything. She did that for me. Hands-on activities. We're having a brand new curriculum coming up, K-2 PhD Science. These students are looking forward to science in the upcoming school year. Dr. Troy Williams from Southeastern is absolutely phenomenal. Astro Camp, Generation Genius, these are all, the Brain Food Truck. These students were doing STEM activities on a mobile lab, things they were not used to doing during the year. So with this STEM and the SEL, we're more prepared for the 21-22 school year. The next 3 slides, I won't really discuss them, but I want to let you know how we disaggregate the data. Because you know Dr. Fasell and I are big numbers people. We want to know what we're doing is working. Number 1, with Tangi Learning Camp, Summer Learning Camp, we know we added values to our students. What we did was we gave every student a pretest in ELA and math. Every student in 2nd and 8th grade, 2nd through 8th. Gave them a pretest. We already knew some of them were low. Some of these students came in making 5 and 10%. Of all the students you see, the first column, the plus column, the first thing you see is the number of students that were in each camp. The first column tells you the number of students that increased on the pretest in ELA. The second column tells you the number of students in math. The third and fourth column lets you know we have work to do. And that's why it's so important that when we're meeting with principals, instructional leadership teams, collaboration, looking at student work, that's why all those initiatives that Ms. Stilley wants us to continue to do are so important, because this is the difference. The first 2 columns add value. The last 2 columns is about who would make a basic or better on LEAP. So you see we have work to do. That's why it's so important that principals, supervisors, everybody, we cannot just manage this year. We must lead. We must lead instructionally to get things point. So the first group, South Zone, where Ms. Malazzo was, 1,200 students, 1,257 students. Next page, Central Zone. It's all Unital, Benedict Fall, Independence, AME schools, 565 students. Same thing there. We're adding value, but are we where we need to be? No, we are not. We have a lot of work to do. Next, North Zone. This is your Roseland, LaRange, and Kentwood, 500 students. We've never had that number to participate since I've been up here. Have not. That was phenomenal. I was most proud of the numbers in that zone because the parents really came out and supported us. Okay? The artifacts that we collected to make sure that we were on point. Every teacher had to do a lesson plan. We had student folders that are on the campuses now with ELA and math pre-tests and post-tests and other artifacts from classes, things that they were working on. The daily snapshot reflection forms. Every site coordinator had to observe every teacher and give feedback. So we were not just going in, they were giving feedback to the teachers. Those had to be turned into me. Daily attendance, and every Friday from 8 to 12, they met from 8 to 9 on a Zoom to plan for learning. And then from 9 to 12, they worked on their lesson plan and they turned that in. So we did that so we can continue what we're already doing during the school year. So it was a lot of planning going on. It wasn't just fluff, as they like to say. It was a lot of hard work going on, a lot of planning. Okay. Last but not least, what did we accomplish in Tangi SLC? We provided 2,322 students with 112 hours of activities that were balanced in expectations. It was focused on Louisiana student standards and their well-being. We want our students to know that we care about them. We expose teachers to various Tier 1 curriculums and help them better understand how planning and deep dives are necessary to anticipate student struggles. Many of our students are struggling, and they were struggling before COVID. This was an issue we had in Tangi before, but we know we must continue to push forward. Shift mindsets of teachers in terms of how culture of classrooms impacts student learning and how building relationships with students is essential. And that's what we've been pushing with our DRP initiative, trying to make sure everyone understands relationships are key. We don't teach curriculum, we teach students. And last but not least, nothing is impossible when ordinary people are committed to doing the extraordinary. This camp is setting us up for success to be committed to excellence in 2021, 2022. Thank you.
Ms. Jackson, first of all, I want to thank you because I know you had a lot of people working together teamwork, dream work, but it was you that led this effort for our children, and we appreciate that. I think it made a huge impact. Secondly, I have a few numbers that Ms. Lanier sent me of the cost, just for FYI purposes. We spent $1.3 million on our summer camp program because we had a large number of students. The majority of that money was spent on our teachers, which, as it should be, we spent $1.2 million on our teachers. We paid them more for committing to the summer work, which I thought, was the right thing to do. We spent $78,000 on transportation, which was not actually as high as we thought it would be. That's for our bus transportation to get students there. We spent about $12,000 on supplies on all of our campuses, and then $6,300 was on STEM-specific contracts that Ms. Jackson talked about. So I think that although when you think about $1.3 million, that's a lot of money. I think that the benefits and the rewards for this for our children and how it's going to propel them into our new school year is something you can't put a price tag on. So I appreciate all your efforts. Thank you.
And could I recognize, I like these three ladies to come up. They're gonna be upset with me, but I'm sorry, because there's no way I could have done this without them. Okay, Margaret.
Ms. Jackson, one quick question. I know with the numbers increasing, we see this continuing. We see this growing, and I heard from a lot of parents that were tickled with this whole program. But with the teachers, with 200 some odd teachers, did we do some surveys where we can get some feedback from these teachers to see how we can improve on this?
Some teachers were automatically emailing me, but I have a survey that I'm sending out to them.
Okay.
But what it is, everybody wants information, like Southeastern wants information about STEM because they were like so elated about what we were doing with the Brain Food Truck. But I am going to create a survey I'm going to get with Dr. Fasel. It's just timing. And everybody, like after July 1st, everybody was just like deflated. Right. So I'm going to get with Dr. Fasel. I have two things I want to do. I want to survey the teachers. I want to survey the parents and the students. And reason being that we found that a lot of our teachers need more support. Right. A lot of them, what happened this summer, some of them were teaching in areas they were not used to teaching in. Like some teachers were used to teaching tested grades and had to teach lower elementary. But what was good about that, they learned how those curriculums build to the tested grades. So you're exactly right. We want as much information as we can get. But I wanted to get with Dr. Fasel. I have some questions. I want to make sure it's not too long, and I want to give them a time to breathe. But I want information from parents, teachers, and students because it takes all of us to make this work. And I know one of the major things that we have to do a better job of is giving those teachers that time to plan and to dig in that curriculum and help them understand what students don't know, because we're not teaching curriculum, we are teaching students. And another thing they were able to do was take a break off the regular school year, breathe, and take time to learn their children. It wasn't the same type of pressure during the year, and that's what the students were telling me. So you're exactly right, Mr. Toller. I have a survey that's going to come out, maybe 3 to 5 questions, just to get their input in what
Absolutely,
they need.
because there's always ways we can improve things, and that's the best resource we have, those teachers that were working with the kids, because the sooner we get that information, the sooner you get that information, the more accurate it will be. Because the more time that goes on, they'll forget little things that maybe they thought of at the beginning of this back in end of May or beginning of June. So I would encourage that.
And some of it was like word of mouth, like as we were going and I would stop traveling, they were shopping, and people, Miss Jackson, my child was this was the first time I had people stop me, and they were really excited about what we were doing.
Right.
And like I told them, I said, what made it exciting? And it was just the different classes and things we were doing. But I just think we'll have more teachers, even with the pay raise, some teachers they were just tired. They said, Ms. Jackson, we just can't do it. But the flexibility Dr. Fasel wanted me to incorporate this year was good too, because some of the teachers taught 2 weeks compared to 4 weeks. So that flexibility really helps. I mean, 8 to 3 is a long time to be at work, even with lunch. So.
And the other question I had is more of a facility thing. It's not really on you, but it's something that we need to address. You know, summer times, our gyms were not really made for summer school. I don't know what the numbers are. I would love to know which schools don't have an activities, I don't want to say gym because some are multi-purpose rooms, but we still have a lot of schools that don't have a place for kids to do this. And summertime is hot around here. And I did get quite a few teachers that called and said, you want to come do gym with us today? And I'm like, no, thank you. You know, so that's something that we as a school system need to address. I know we have a lot of schools that have that solved, but it may be time for us, you know, AC, imagine everybody in here, when your AC goes out in your car, it goes to the shop. When your AC goes out at your house, you call somebody. But yet we still have kids that are working during summer school and these, anyway, enough about that.
Could I say something? You did a great job presenting that. You kept my attention, and that takes a lot. It was really inspiring. And I think I heard you say earlier, use the word efficacy that was on here. And if I can remember correctly, that means believing that you can do it. Didn't you bring that out? And I think that's a big issue here for these kids, just to instill that in them, to believe that they can do it. Means a whole lot when you have that mindset. So that really impressed me when you said that.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to our presentation, number 4A, update on the Tangy Streamliner bus. Ms. Collette?
Present. And I was told last time I came to do an update, I have to get closer to the mic. I'm gonna try not to be, don't back up, Mr. Jacob. All right, so we're here for an awesome update. I can't even deal with it anymore. I'm just so excited.
Okay.
So we're gonna let her get
Ready?
and then we're gonna roll and set sail on the Streamliner. Woo-hoo! Get ready, because it's coming. All right. So, crazy idea, not crazy anymore. Nobody can say it. We are ready to set sail. Started this September 17th, almost 2 years ago. Had some setbacks, but we kept pushing forward. Ms. Jackson said if the kids can do it, I know an adult at 52 can do it, and we are doing it. We need to say thank you because all this is possible through the grants. We have raised $36,000 for this project. We need to thank Oncourse. We need to thank Entergy. We need to thank Detail. We need to thank Hood Automotive, First Guarantee Bank, Kent Mitchell Bus, Louisiana Rural Mental Health Alliance, and K-Team Printing. Without them, we couldn't have done this. So thank you. We need to thank Mr. Bill Ford, donated the bus we wanted, and we got it when he retired. Woo! First stop, you saw this already, Kent Mitchell Bus. There was the inside, we took all the seats out. Second stop, Independence High School. Mr. Frank, Mr. Jody, and their shop class outfitted it with all the counters we needed. Third stop, K-Team Printing and Marketing. They designed our wrap, which, yes, took long, but you want it to be right, because when you see this coming down the highway, you're going to want to blow a horn. Okay? You're going to go, toot, toot, I'm coming. Where are you going to be next? So, we need to thank also Berry Lane Campers. We needed a building to wrap the bus. They donated a building they had empty and let us have the use of it where the bus is seated, is still at as we speak. So, without them, we couldn't do it. All right, y'all ready? Woo. All right. Hey, are you ready? All right, here we go. Sound better be on. Yeah. That's waiting for us. We got to fill it. And thank you to Federal Programs and Miss CeCe Lanier helped us get all the equipment that we need to outfit the bus, ready for kids to come and believe that they can succeed and be proud of Tangipahoa Parish. So what we're doing, just to let you know, accessibility was a big part of this. So I am in contact with the special education department, and we want the kids that have either visual impaired, we want them to feel empowered to be able to be themselves. So we're going to start with some things, large print directions, braille tags at stations so the students can actually feel the counter, and when they get to something, they know they're at a next station. Give them that independence. Textured tape at the stations as well. So the braille tags, they'll be able to know what exactly the STEM project they're going to be working on, and the textured tape will lead them down the counter so they know they're at a new station. And we're going to try some kind of way to record some directions for those non-readers, although we'll have adults on there with the students working, but we want it to be as much student-centered and accessible to everybody as possible. So, we're going to unveil the Streamliner at the August 6th back-to-school pep rally. And ready for us to walk through.
You driving it in?
I am not going to drive it in. I've been told my
Just
husband,
drive it
I'm
in.
not the person to drive the bus.
It'll fit in there.
But it
Drive
will,
in there.
I would like it to be inside,
It
but
can
you know, if you got pull, you want to talk to Southeastern and we can get it on the inside of the court, I'm all about being
Randy
inside
Bush
of the
can do
court.
it. Randy Bush can do it.
Randy, okay, I'm gonna email you and remind you.
As long as I can use it
Inside
on the
building.
weekend to sell ice cream.
Whatever you want. I'm here for you, Mr. Bush. You make it happen. We will be there ready to unveil this, and y'all, it is even more impressive in person than this. So I can't stand it. I was walking up Miss Rose, and I can't stand it. You know, it's the little things, but I hope y'all are excited because we are definitely excited. So next summer camp, we roll it to the schools. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Colette.
You know, I'm very impressed with that because I'm all about children with special needs, working with TARC. So that's going to be something great for our students in school that have special needs to be able to do something and feel like they're on the same level as everybody else. So great job.
I totally agree with you. Oh, wait, stop. Oh, wait, don't go to the next person. I didn't finish. The kids are going to board the bus with a boarding pass. So here's your very own boarding pass, and when you scan the code, it goes to our website. So I hope you board the Streamliner.
I'm driving.
A couple things.
Okay, we can drop it in there, get it up in there, Mr. Bush. I'm pretty sure
Mr.
your
Steinbach,
officer
do I-
already asked Southeastern if we
do I
could
have
drop
time?
the
Yeah.
bus in there, and they
No.
said, something about a new basketball court or something, I don't know.
Colette,
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Talion, I want to thank you for your leadership on this as well. And I know it was a team effort. I know a lot of people worked, Dina, a lot of the other people worked with us on, you guys on this. When we did our strategic plan back in 2018, our first one, you know, community outreach was one of the things we talked about. And then Colette comes in one day and she has this vision, this idea about how we can extend out into the community with STEM and how we can, you know, get this to our schools and all. And so we basically said, let's roll with it, let's do it. And so she led this effort. And so I just want to thank you for our children, and it's going to be impacted by this. And our families is just another amazing thing that we're offering our school system, and it's thanks to you and everyone that worked to be a part of this. Thank you.
All right, moving right along to number 5, consider committee reports. Number 1, Capital Outlay Committee met of a whole on July 13th, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Mr. Toller, second by Ms. Janice. Any questions, comments? Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
B, our Finance Committee met on July 13th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept.
Ms. Dominguez,
Second.
second by Ms. Sandra. Any questions or comments about the Finance Committee meeting? Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open.
I'm trying to log back on, but yes.
Do you want to go ahead and voice vote?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Our Vision and Strategic Planning Committee met on July 13th. Have a motion to accept.
I make the motion to accept.
Ms. Sandra? Second by Ms. Janice. Any comments? Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
And E, we had a Finance Committee again on July 20th. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Mr. Toller?
Second.
Ms. Dominguez? Any comments? Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
I think I missed the Policy Committee. Yeah. Policy Committee was held on July 13th. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Ms. Dominguez?
I'll second it.
Okay. Mr. Bush?
You sure we didn't do that?
Yeah, we did.
I thought I did.
I skipped it by
Okay.
accident. Any questions?
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to number 6, Superintendent's Reports and Recommendations.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Item 6A, we have a few policies that we need to refer to our next policy committee meeting. So I ask the board to consider approval to refer the policies GAMI, MIA, electronic communications between employees and students, JBC, which is school admissions policy, JBCC, student assignment, JBCE, public school choice, JCDA, student code of conduct, JCDAB, student alcohol and drug use, JDD, suspension, and JCDAC, which is dangerous weapons, to the policy committee.
I'll make a motion to refer the announced policies to the policy committee.
Second.
Ms. Dominguez, second by Mr. Toller.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 6B, last week during our Vision and Strategic Planning Committee, I provided an update and overview for the board and the public on our strategic plan for the next 3 years. And so tonight, I'd ask the board to consider approval of the Tangipahoa Parish School System's 3-year strategic plan.
So move.
Mr. Toller?
Second.
And second by Ms. Sandra. Any comments? Ms. Cindy?
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to C.
Yes, I'm sorry. Item 6C, update on back to school for August. I have a few little updates, and I'm going to ask Ms. Jenkins to pull up our website. There's a few things I'd like to highlight here. Just while she's pulling that up, currently we are not under an executive order by the governor to mandate and require face coverings for our students in the school buildings. So just to let our families know that as of today's date, there will be no mandate requiring students or faculty to wear face coverings in the buildings. However, we all know that, that could change depending on executive orders from our governor. So we will be monitoring that over the course of the next few weeks before school starts, and we'll update on our website and put this on here to let families know if there's any changes in regards to that. There is a presidential Biden has an executive order which requires face coverings on public transportation, and our school buses are considered in that as well. And so if students are riding the school bus, we are under that executive order and are required to wear face coverings on the school bus. But at this time, not in the classroom and not in the buildings. I wanted to update the board and the public tonight on our family.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Because I think when you get, there's the Federal Department of Education, there's a State Department of Education, there's a BESI board, there's the other things.
The governor.
The governor.
Yeah.
That regulates a lot about what we do. So when we start back to school, I want everyone to know so you can stop calling me. There'll be no mask mandate, but that could change tomorrow, and we will not have a choice. We'll have to do it. So you can leave Miss Silly alone, our staff, and all of us. We follow lots of people's guidelines. A lot of things that we do, we don't just make them up. Boards before us didn't just make them up. So I want to really emphasize that because it's already on social media that people are going to come up here tonight and protest and sign up like our fellow private schoolers came out at first that they're wearing masks and that changed. So I just want to make that statement. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yep.
It's important because we don't want it to be a problem if we have to come back in a week and say we have to wear them. It's not going to be us.
So, and just to further clarify, Mr. Bush, and thanks for bringing that up, currently there's several authorities like the CDC and others, maybe the Department of Health and Hospitals, that recommend if they're not vaccinated, students or employees that they wear. It's a recommendation.
Right.
It is not a mandate. That's the difference. The governor would be the one that actually authorizes an executive order that mandates. So if that happens, then we, as a public school system, have to respond to that and align. So thanks for bringing that up.
So on the school buses, I know you said that they have to wear masks. Is there an age limit? Because I know before, under the third grades and below didn't have to wear a mask. Is that going to be considered on the buses as well?
It says all passengers
All passengers.
on the school bus, all passengers.
And our buses can run 100%.
100% right now, under where we are right now today. So on our website, we have a family toolkit, and if you pull up our site, it's very mobile friendly, by the way. You can pull up the family toolkit, and the whole idea behind the family toolkit is that it would provide for families almost like a one-stop shop, one place that they could click on our website and have basically all that they need to know are the information and resources that they need to have a good start, a strong start to the school year. And so I wanted to pull this up tonight. It's you know, I think it's in red on the, when you pull it up originally on the opening page of our site. You'll see it running across the top. If you click on that, within this, you'll see the family toolkit. You'll have things like school information, school supply lists, or up, Ms. Jenkins, go back.
I'm sorry.
School supply lists running across the top, school uniforms, we've got information about that. There was some chatter out there about shortages of uniforms. We clarified that. We actually called all of the stores here in Tangipahoa Parish to find out the inventory, what they had available. And so we did that last week to update that. If you go back, it'll have the supply list for all the schools. You don't necessarily need to click on that, but there's every school listed. If you click on the school, you can actually break down by the grade and get your supply list. The important dates, Ms. Jenkins, if you can click on the important dates under the family school information across, it's at the top. At the top, yeah, right there. If you click there, it has the academic calendar. It has the soft start dates for, August the 11th, we'll have half of our students attend. August 12th, the other half, and on the 13th, which is the Friday, all students will attend. If you go on down on this site where it's the dates, you'll see other important dates at the bottom, Ms. Jenkins. If you click on that, that actually has the orientation dates for our schools, the meet and greets. Sometimes families want to know, like, when can I go and meet my child's teacher? You'll have open house dates. You'll have dates there for Chromebook distributions as well. So that important dates link is an important one, I think, for families to have that information. Back to the toolkit, let's see. Across the top, you have digital resources. If you click on that one, Ms. Cindy, you'll see these are various ways that parents can stay connected to updates from our school system. They can sign up to receive our newsletter. They can sign up to get text messages from the school system. School, we have to close early, or there's a hurricane, or whatever it may be. There's an OnCourse Connect link that they can go to, ClassLink. There's a bus app link that will be active before we start school, where they can track the school bus as it's getting close to their home. We can also push out updates about buses, if there's a sub on the bus, or if a bus is running late, that information can be pushed out on that app as well. And then let's go to the COVID-19 guidelines. You'll see here that what I said earlier about the face coverings is on this page. You'll see last updated 7/16. And if there is an executive order that we respond to, we'll put that date and put, based on that executive order, this is where we are. Also, if you scroll down that page, Ms. Jenkins, let's see. Well, it's not there. Never mind. So, family toolkit. Go back to the toolkit page. Just that opening. Okay, toolkit. We have our back to school plan. That's the one I wanted to show you guys. If you click on there, this year, we call it the new normal year, but it's a document that talks about the opening for August. If you go into that document, Miss Cindy, and scroll down a little bit, it has the information. The three things are just opening safely, really looking at lost instructional time, which is an extension of our summer programs, our summer camps, and also social emotional support for both our employees as well as our students are outlined in this plan. On the next page, which is the introduction, it talks again about the face coverings. Also, if you scroll down, Miss Cindy, it'll talk about phase one. You can stop there. Okay. So if the governor says we're an executive order and we're phase two, This is sort of like the game plan for phase 2. If he says, phase 1, that's the game plan for phase 1. So, of course, we can update this as we get additional guidance if that were to indeed happen over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks. We can go back to the toolbox again, but the bottom line, we have a toolbox. Yes, a lot of this information can be found on our website if you look for it, but our goal with the toolkit, I keep saying toolbox, but it's a toolkit, sorry, it's a one-stop click for parents. It makes it easy. They can go there, they can find, it has our student handbook, our student parent handbook. We put that up this week as well. There's bell times for schools, school nurse service information. The very end of this says, who should I contact? We get calls and, maybe a parent has a question or maybe they have a concern or a complaint. Who do I ask the question? It tells for general questions, how to resolve an issue at the school. It tells them exactly the steps. And also we'll also put on here the department supervisors and have their contact information. So we wanted this to be easy for our families to find the information that they need. So as you get calls or you see folks out, direct them to the family toolkit. We'll be pushing this out also on social media to let families know about the toolkit. And so tonight we wanted to just update on that. And then the big question, as Mr. Bush said, is people are wanting to know about the face coverings.
Toolkit's a great idea, Ms. Dilley.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
good.
I think it's going to be very helpful for our families. So that's kind of the back to school update that we have. And I want to also want to recognize Melissa Ryan, who's here tonight, and her husband Todd, Melissa is our new elementary supervisor. Melissa has served as a principal at Vineyard for 12 years. Prior to that, she was at Amite Westside for 2, but a total of 14 years as a school principal. And so we're happy to welcome her to our district team as a elementary supervisor. And so thanks for coming tonight, and thanks Todd for coming with her to our meeting. We appreciate that.
I can say this.
The only reason I voted no against you was because I didn't want you to leave Vineyard.
Well, Mr. Bush, I was fixing to say that. According to Facebook, if you read on the Tangi parent page, all of the parents were just devastated because you were leaving their school. So I know you're going to do a great job in that position because all of the parents said how wonderful you are.
I reckon when Ms. Dilley sent me that email, a text, I recommended me, her, Ron Jenko for the job. And Mr. Jenko, she laughed at that.
And the last item I want to say is, we lost one of our board members, Ms. Teresa Damiano, this weekend to cancer. Not only was she a board member, but she was a longtime educator in our parish. And I know we have Marquita here, who worked under Teresa at Hammond Westside at one point, I believe, Melissa Ryan, Colette, and many others. But, Teresa was, she was an advocate for our public school system, and probably one of the best advocates that I've ever met. She dedicated her life to improving the lives of our people, but especially she always had the heart of children. When we talk about the students, she always had them first. And so not only was she a classroom teacher and a parent and an administrator, but she came back after she retired from the system after many, many years and became a board member. And then the last thing, she served on our Educational Facilities Improvement Board, which was critical in getting our half penny on the ballot. That was one of the last things that she did, I think, for our students and our teachers and our employees. She was passionate. Just a few minutes talking to her, you would know that. She was a fighter, and, I can't say enough about her. I have so much respect for her, and I always have. And I just want to say that I want to thank her for her many, many years of service to our system and for our children. she didn't get caught up into the stuff. She always kept a clear, very focused attention on the children. And for that, she won my heart. And I know that many of you feel the same. And so we want to remember her contribution to our system over the years, and then also just keep her family in our prayers as they're going through this time. That's all I have.
Follow her footsteps, aren't they?
She has 2 daughters that are actually teachers in our parish, in our school system, and then a son that is with Southeastern. So that's all I have for superintendent's reports.
And a great, great cake baker, because she did many, many cakes for me for birthdays and such. Such a wonderful woman. All right, we're going to move to other, did we announce about our back-to-school bash, the date?
Oh, yeah. That's back to school, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are, as Colette mentioned earlier, we are having our back-to-school rally, bash, pep rally, we call it, for our employees on August the 6th, which is Friday. It's on a Friday at the University Center. And it's really an opportunity for us we have a motivational, inspirational speaker that's going to come and talk to our teachers, and we'll be unveiling a little bit more about some of the individuals that we have coming back to the rally, are coming to the rally to welcome our teachers and our employees back to the school year, to have a strong start to this school year. And it is August the 6th at the University Center, so we're looking forward to having that and just continuing to build. I think from the summer camps, we had built a lot of momentum and a lot of excitement, and even though it was tiring, it was fun, and it was great seeing all of that on those social media posts of all those pictures of the kids learning. And we just want to continue that with our rally on August the 6th. Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that.
All right, moving on to other board actions. Consider approval of the resolution adopting the 2019-2020 Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire as a required part of the Tangipahoa Parish School System's annual financial and compliance audit. Mr. Schnuttelbach.
Thank you, Madam President and Board. I'd like to read the resolution and then get board approval. Resolution adopting the 2020-2021 Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire as required part of the Tangipahoa Parish School System's annual financial audit and compliance audit, financial and compliance audit. Whereas the legislative order requires that the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire be completed by the Tangipahoa Parish School System and adopted by the Tangipahoa Parish School Board. And whereas the questionnaire must be presented to the auditor at the beginning of the annual audit, and whereas the auditor will test the accuracy of the response to the questionnaire during the course of his audit. Now therefore it be resolved that the Tangipahoa Parish School Board does hereby resolve that the attached Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for Tangipahoa Parish School System be and hereby adopted. I would ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Toller, Ms. Dominguez, second. Now, Mr. Brett, on our sheet it says 2019-2020, but it's actually 2020-2021?
What sheet?
It is actually the questionnaire for the 2020-2021 audit.
Okay.
The one the year we just finished.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Ms. Sandrum, start with you with personal privilege.
Yeah, I had asked Miss Robin Robin to let me say these words about Teresa. I didn't know that Miss Stilley was going to say them. That's okay. She deserves 2 of us doing that. But also I wanted to tell you, give the information when her services are. So that's going to be like tomorrow from 9 to 11 at Our Lady of Pompeii Catholic Church in Tickfall, and the Mass is at 11 o'clock. But I also wanted to say these words, too, from my own heart, that Teresa was an outstanding educator, school board member, and board president. She loved her students and cared deeply that they receive the best education possible. I spent a lot of time with her as she shared this through the years, and it was right out of her heart. I would watch her and wonder as she performed her board president's duties. I think I was vice president at that time, and I was just so amazed. And I would look at her and think, I'd like to be just like her when I grow up. I was blessed to spend the last couple of days before she passed away, a few moments with her before she left us. Her smile at those moments was radiant. You wouldn't believe that she wasn't going to be here much longer. It was radiant. Her eyes spoke volumes of love for others. And most of all, we had those moments and we held hands and prayed together because we both knew that we would see each other again because of our faith one day. And she loved her Lord dearly. Teresa's love for her husband, her children, she had 5 children and 12 grandchildren, ruled all that she did. They were always the overriding force in her life. They were her light and her reason for living. She will be missed greatly, but again, I look forward to seeing her again one day. Thank you.
Mr. Bush?
Yes. I want to bring up a couple things tonight. They're not all about our graduates and our high schools, but we had, if I mispronounce her name, I'm sorry, Skyla DeGrassi. She won $100,000 through the money given away through the state. She's a Hammond High student. She was the first student that it would be deposited into a college savings account. So congratulations to Skyla and whoever talked bad about that vaccine. She got it. Even though this young lady's not from a Tangipahoa Parish school, but our national spelling bee should be recognized because she was from Louisiana. Zylea, please help me. Gardy, she's what, 13? And I watched her interview, and as it was, she could dribble like 8 basketballs at one time, if you didn't know that. And she said she just might go to Harvard and be a basketball player. She's not sure. Or cure world hunger, who knows, whatever. And she does spelling as a hobby. And she said only practice about 6 or 7 hours a day. What a young lady, even though she's not from Tangipahoa Parish. But these 2 young ladies, one from Hammond High and this one from, I think where she's from.
Harvey, I think.
Harvey, are wonderful people that represented our state greatly in the last couple of weeks, and I just want to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Ms. Janice?
I'm done. You did.
I'd just like to say that, Ms. Makita, I got several phone calls, and the kids were so excited on the north end and about the summer camp, and just thank you for doing a marvelous job, marvelous. The Screamliner, I'm looking forward to it, and all of that energy, and I only had one concern, and I was asking Ms. Steele, and she couldn't answer it for me. Is there air on the bus?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Yes, there's air on the bus. We have a generator. It can run us out.
All right, Ms. Scott, because I was going to refer right back.
There we go. Air on the bus.
Air on the bus. So, and with that, we just want to say thank you, and I also want to commend again our students, our athletes, and academically, that they've just done so well. The ones at Kentwood, I do know them, and both of them call me Momo. But they're very good children, and they're very athletic, and we're just kind of excited to see where these children go. And like Mr. Jinko says, okay, come on back to Tangipahoa Parish. That's what we want to see happen. Okay.
Mr. Toller?
Yeah, just as we get close to school, and Mr. Bush said it earlier, we have to remain flexible. As we see, if you've watched the news and seen the reports with numbers increasing and being a new variant and a new push right now, we just don't know where we're going to go with this. But so I encourage the teachers and the parents to stay flexible with us, and we will adjust just like they will have to adjust. Also lift up Ms. Teresa's family, and I don't think I could say anything better than what you two have said. I do. When I got to the board, she had to be probably the wisest voice on this board when it came to settling us down and getting back on topic. You know, and I appreciate that, especially when we start getting into controversial issues. Her wisdom, and I guess it's because she was a recovering teacher, you know, she used that to try to rein us all in. But I appreciate her wisdom on the board working with us. So prayers go out to her family.
Mr. Mingus?
Yes, I would like to say that too. I loved working with Miss Damiana. She was an amazing person, and she was very calming to all of us, and she did keep us on track. I also worked with her when I was the district PTA president way back in the day, helping her get a PTA at Westside when she went to be principal over there. So I enjoyed working with her for many years, and we're just so saddened that she's gone from us, and we'll lose that. We pray for her family. I also wanted to just say a quick comment about this back to school family toolkit is amazing, absolutely amazing. I can't thank the people enough that gathered all this information. I'm sure Ms. Suzanne's worked really hard to gather it, Ms. Jenkins, everybody who gave you all the information to put this out. It's wonderful. And of course, our technology department for putting it on for us. That is just going to be so much more beneficial, and a lot of answered questions before they're asked, right? So thank y'all so much for that. And the new website looks really good. I'm trying to maneuver through it, but it looks really great. So thank y'all so much for that. Thank you, ladies. And the Streamliner, of course. Ms. Colette, I've been working with you a long time too, so thank you. You're the perfect person to do this job.
I hope so.
You know, I try to do anyway. Our website for my office, they make me go put stuff in, and I'm not really savvy with the technology part of that. So our technology department here at the school board, looking at our website, it is just top notch. I mean, if people have to say they're impressed when they go to our website now, it's just amazing how it looks. It's easy to navigate. I think people are going to really understand, and we're not going to have so many phone calls because they're going to be able to find it right there on our website. So it is an amazing job that you have done. Congratulations on our Streamliner. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Thank y'all so much for the summer camp. It was, I know it was a lot of hard work, and you all did an amazing job. I know to work all year long and then to do summer school as well, or summer camp, had to be hard on you because most of you probably have children of your own that you had to do something with and make sure that they were taken care of. So thank you for your dedication to our school system. With that being said, Ms. Stilley, do you have anything else? Okay.
I forgot something. We also have somebody we need to honor tonight too, or pay attention to, our newspaper reporter. And I can't pronounce her first name or last name, but I think it's Riley or Rayleigh. And definitely I can't pronounce the last name. Rayleigh. You just received some honor. Could you tell us the name of it recently?
I got first place in Best Single Editorial from the LPA.
Yeah, we saw that. Congratulations.
Congratulations. If there's nothing else, we're going to go ahead and go into litigation. A motion to enter executive session to consider the case of Jennifer Wheat versus Tangipahoa Parish School System, and to discuss the superintendent's evaluation, and consider the case of Jennifer Wheat versus Tangipahoa Parish School System, Eastern District of Louisiana, Hammond, Seals, Atkins, Geis, Perkins, and Noah.
Need a motion?
Yes.
Make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Simmons, Ms. Dominguez. Call our meeting back to order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion in the case of Jennifer Wheat versus TPSB that we adopt our council's recommendation.
Got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sandra. Ms. Cindy?
passes unanimously.
Do we need to?
For item 9C, which is the superintendent's evaluation, Madam Secretary, I opt for open session at our next board meeting in terms of my superintendent's evaluation.
Thank you.
If anybody else has anything to say? Anything,
I
anybody?
do want to say that the Senate today overrode Governor Edwards' veto of transgender athletes. So if it goes to the House and they override it, then that means male will have to compete against males, and females will have to compete against females. Right now, the Senate passed overrode Governor's veto of that deal. So the House of Representatives, if they vote, then we'll be, the way it is now, it'll stay the same.
Right.
So I think that's important for us to talk about, think about, because if they don't override it, we could have some issues.
I thought they did, you said they
The
did.
Senate did, but the House is,
Okay, got it.
will probably take it up to tomorrow.
All right, nothing else? Meeting adjourned.